So thank you all for coming. I know this was fairly last minute, but it's a fairly last minute opportunity that we want to make sure that we get out to our classified employees in the North State who may be eligible for this program. So this is the California High Road Training Partnership with the state of California and Western Governors University, who, if you're not familiar with, they are an online university through the Western governors of the United States came up with. And a lot of leaders on this call and then across the North State have been created through their programs. And so the latest is the program that Shannon will be talking about in just a minute that provides classified eligible employees, paraprofessionals that are in our school systems to become teachers for free. And how amazing is that? And not only for free tuition, but also provide $9,000 for their student teaching during their 12 weeks of student teaching to help offset that, because we know it's a full-time job to do our student teaching. So it's an amazing opportunity. WGU has been a strong partner to the North State, offering this opportunity and advertising it. One of the first advertisement is through the North State channels. So that's great. It's a statewide initiative with only 200 slots, but we're getting the word out up here in the rural North first, which I think is great from an equity standpoint, because we all know that our students don't have as many opportunities to go on and get their teaching degree without leaving the area. And so this provides to grow and retain students, and some of the best teachers are the ones that are already in the school system as our classified paraprofessionals. So with that, I'm going to quickly hand it off to the one who knows a lot more about the program and the quick, tight turnaround that we have on the program and how we can identify students and get them applying and all the things that they need to do if they're to be eligible and part of the 200 participants. All right, Shannon, I'll kick it off to you.
Thank you so much. And it is a tight turnaround, and we apologize ahead of time for that. I'm sure you've all worked with grants before. That's just kind of how the state of California set us up. It was like, you can't promote it till now, and you have to start enrolling in April. So there we are. You knew when we knew. So I'm going to share my screen here, and oh, come on. And oh, when that little bar is there, then you can't see. Hold on, it's blocking my view of being able to click the button. Just a second, guys. Well, come on. There we go. Okay, so hopefully we're good to go here. Everybody can see my slides. So this is through the California High Road Training Grant. It sounds like everybody's familiar with WGU, so I will do a super brief overview, but obviously if you have any questions after this, let me know. I can't see the chat, so you can put questions in the chat and I can answer them all after, or if somebody wants to read them out during, that's fine as well. WGU was established in 1997 by 19 U.S. governors, so the Western Governors Association. We are regionally accredited just like the state schools are. We're based out of Utah, so it's that local accrediting body that also does like BYU, Utah State, that we're accredited under. We're a great option for students that are working because of our flexibility, because it's online. Students can do their program whenever it fits their schedule. Program mentors are something that we provide to make sure that even though students are going to school online, they feel supported. So they're assigned a program mentor. Think of that like a counselor from the day they start until they graduate from their program. And that person checks with them every week or every other week to help them be successful in their program and to graduate in a timely manner. And we are a nonprofit. Competency-based education, some of the hallmarks are that WGU is the one that piloted CBE and still the largest CBE school in conferred degrees. So we're measuring skills, not time. So our courses aren't 6 weeks or 8 weeks or a semester long. As soon as the student demonstrates mastery, and that's going to be typically tests, papers, possibly like a PowerPoint presentation that they would video record and then share. As soon as they demonstrate mastery, pass their tests, pass their papers, they can move on to the next course. So in addition to flexibility, it does offer the student the opportunity to move through their program quickly. For somebody who's already really knowledgeable, maybe somebody who's been a paraprofessional like for 5 years or 10 years, it really affords them the ability to be able to move through a class quickly or even test out. Our School of Education is one of the top schools for granting degrees to Black and Latino educators, both at the graduate and undergraduate level. We are accredited both by the Council for Accreditation of Educator Preparation and the Association for Advancing Quality in Educator Prep, and a top STEM school. So what we're really here for, the California High Road Grant Opportunity, we were awarded a grant in October, $4.86 million to serve educators in California to help that parapro pathway, right? To go from paraprofessional to credentialed teacher. Our degree programs for that are combo programs, so we don't have a standalone credential. Typically they're doing a bachelor's and a credential, and then we do have some like master's and a credential program, but they're all combo programs. And there's 200 slots available, as Jamie said, and it's first come, first serve. So once those are full, we don't have any more grant money for this specific program, but we do have other scholarships, and we do actually have another grant that's coming online within a month or two. And students that aren't eligible, or if once the 200 spots are filled, our enrollment counselors are, will be letting them know about those other scholarships and grant opportunities that are available. This is a 24-month program. So you'll see here at the bottom, it says start date April. Students could start May or possibly even June, but the grant money ends May 31st of 2026. So irrespective of when they start, they have to be done with their program and their student teaching and everything by March 31st of 2026. So that's why you see it says a 24-month program. It doesn't mean they have 24 months from whenever they start. It is 24 months from April 1 of 2024 to April 1 of 2026. Hence why we say March 31st, you need to be done. The grant covers, it's no cost on our end. So the grant covers their tuition at WGU, any ebooks, resource fees, anything like that. And also they're paid a $9,000 stipend to cover living expenses during their student teaching, which is 12 weeks because student teaching is full-time. That said, if there's any, state testing or licensing, those types of fees, the student has to pay for that. Program eligibility, they need to be a classified employee with a K-12 district in California. They have to have a minimum of 45 transferrable college credits. They don't have to have that to come to WGU. They have to have that to be in this program, again, because of the timeline that we're working with. We just feel that students with less than 45 credits are not going to be able to finish this program, by March of 2026. And these are the eligible programs. So again, if you're familiar with WGU, this is not all of the degree programs at our school, but these are the degree programs at our school that are eligible for this grant. And I will be sending out like our flyer and our landing page. So all of this is also listed on there. And then this just kind of gives you a timeline of what we're looking at. So enrollment's open now. And, it does take some time to go through the application and approve it and get transcripts and all that kind of stuff. So with a goal of an April 1st start date. We have a start date at the first of every month at WGU. So that's why I said early that potentially, somebody who's coming in with more credits or somebody who maybe has like an associate's degree could potentially start like May 1st or maybe even June 1st. But again, they have we have 24 months of funding and that's it for this program. So we're encouraging people to, jump on there and enroll as soon as possible. The link that I'll provide you guys, they need to apply through that link. We have dedicated enrollment counselors specifically for this program, but only if they apply through that link. not if they just go to the WGU website. All of our enrollment counselors for Teachers College should be aware. We're working on some additional training, but it's really best if they apply through the landing page specifically for this program. And then again, this just speaks to the timeline of what it would look like once they're in their program. Student teaching is their last term. And again, if you're not familiar with WGU and how we work, we don't have specific times. Classes aren't 6 weeks or 8 weeks or semester long, right? As soon as you pass your test, pass your papers, you move on to the next course. Typically, what we do is a flat rate tuition where students pay per term, and a term is 6 months. So that's what when you see first term, second term, third term, those are 6-month terms. And so based on a standard timeline, students would start their student teaching during their 4th term. So I did go through that really quick. Here to answer any questions. I'll share these slides with Jamie as well, so you guys have them along with the one sheet and along with the landing page that shows right here. But just kind of our big ask moving forward, because we have such a tight turnaround from the state, is for you guys to help identify qualified paraeducators in the districts that you're working with that would, benefit, somebody who's always wanted to go back to school but couldn't because they couldn't afford to go to school or because they couldn't afford to take that time off during their student teaching. We're really working hard to make that possible for paraeducators that we know would be great teachers if they were given the opportunity, an opportunity like this to go to school for free and have a stipend during their student teaching. And that's it. Let me know what questions you guys have, if any.
So I do have a question. What happens if a student says, okay, I'm going to do this, or a paraprofessional says, I'm going to do this. They're very excited. They totally get involved. And then halfway through, life happens and they're not able to complete it. Do they have to pay anything back?
They don't.
Okay, they don't have to pay anything back. Can they take a break and then come back and pay for it on their own to complete?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
they just wouldn't have access to that funding anymore.
Great. Okay.
I had one question that came in on private chat, which was when you say classified employees, are we talking about K through 12 system only or community college system as well?
K through 12. They have to work for a school district.
And it doesn't have to be a student-facing classified position?
It does, and I'm going to get some clarification on that. I've been asking that same question because the powers that be on my end are interchanging classified and paraprofessional, and I keep explaining to them that all paraprofessionals are classified, but not all classified are paraprofessionals. So I will get some clarification on that. What I would say for now, until I get that answer for you guys, is that if somebody's a paraprofessional, they absolutely qualify. If they're classified but not a para, I'm cautiously optimistic that they would still qualify, but I need to get clarification for you. Ooh, and just FYI, they sent me a new laptop, which I thought was plugged in, but I'm not sure it is. So if you lose me, email questions my way. I'm trying to figure it out right now. God love new technology. I thought I was all good to go, and now I'm getting this little thing that says you're not plugged in. So, and if I'm not sure where that is. Sorry, folks. Oh, maybe that's it. Okay, I think I'm good. Sorry. Brand new laptop.
And one other thing, this question hasn't come up, but I'll just say it for the recording sake. And then I know I see some folks on the call from Reading School District, that this is different than what you may be working with Teach University, where the school really, except to help us identify students to go to the landing page and apply, really doesn't come into play until, of course, arranging for student teaching. So there's no contracts that the school district has to do. It really is just getting this opportunity out to your paraprofessionals. And then, of course, when it comes to student teaching time, there'll be some arrangements to make sure that all of those details that go into student teaching are taken care of.
Correct. And typically the way we work is once a student is enrolled, somebody from field placement, looks to see whether we already have an agreement with the district that they would want to teach in. And if we don't, they start working on that ahead of time, especially for this program, because we don't want that to be a holdup to somebody, completing their program within the time allowed for funding.
And in terms of that 45 unit minimum, so a student may have 45 units minimum, but some of those courses may be remedial coursework, et cetera. So
correct. So our enrollment counselors will, they'll be evaluating that and doing a transcript evaluation to make sure that we feel like they're positioned to finish their program within the 24 months allotted to us.
Great. Okay.
Are the classes year round? Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You just finish first.
I was just looking in the chat. Are the classes year round or is there a summer break? There's no summer break. Typically students can take some time but for this program, they're probably not going to be able to. So it's going to be all go, no stop.
My question was regarding to getting, like, do they have to apply to like FAFSA or anything like that for them to be able to qualify for this? They do? Okay.
Yeah, they would want to apply for FAFSA. Yeah. But the grant is not through FAFSA, to be clear. So the grant is through California Workforce.
So if they, let's say they did qualify for a Pell Grant, normally that would be applied towards their tuition cost. Is it a situation where their Pell Grant would be applied towards the tuition cost and the grant would just not? So they would actually just get the Pell Grant. The
grant will cover everything. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Everything on our end. I just have to stipulate that, for the state of California, if there's, licensing fees or testing fees or anything like that, that's
on the student.
That's
Okay.
Because funny enough, they will give us a grant to cover tuition, but not to cover their fees.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any other questions? Cindy's probably going, it sounds too good to be true. No, it really is. That's why we wanted to get the word out.
Yes, I know. Probably the only thing about it that's not too good to be true is just that tight turnaround. Like somebody needs to find out about it now and they have to apply right away. It is a really tight turnaround. So that's the downside. But if for somebody who's been thinking about going to school and is ready to, pull the trigger and make that happen, it's a phenomenal opportunity.
I think I have a student that would fit this perfectly, and she's been looking for something that is very economical for her. So I might get in touch with you about that student.
Yeah, and they're welcome. Jamie has my email. So, they need to go to the link that she put in the chat and we'll send it out. I'm sure she'll send it out too, and apply there. But students are welcome to reach out to me as well. So I can just follow up and, make sure that they're getting all the help they need to move forward.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And obviously moving forward too, if you guys have any additional questions or student have questions or anything, just reach out to me. I try and respond, pretty promptly or within 24 hours. So.
Yeah, and it's great. On that landing page, just so you all know, for prospective students, pairs, there is a chat button. It's not always available 24/7, but usually you can get a live person to talk to you and kind of walk them through and get them in touch with an enrollment counselor. It happens really, really quick. a little bit different than some of our other systems. So they can get right on talking with an enrollment counselor, filling out the application, all of those things. It can happen quite fast. So I will send out, after I get the slide deck and the one pager, a link to the recording, and then a link to the landing page so that you all have the information in your emails, and for those on your teams that may have not been able to come today.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to share this with you guys and to partner and work with you, just to enroll and help you guys, grow your own and create those pathways for paraeducators. We appreciate the opportunity to collaborate with you on this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for coming.